Welcome again to Aussie Beer TV. I'm Brent, this is Ty, and Ty, we're down here today in Hawthorn.
We are.
Inner East Melbourne. Probably I'd suggest an exclusive sort of something.
Yeah, fairly traditional, fairly well established.
Yeah, and I've dressed up a little
expensive.
bit. Expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we're looking for. But why are we here, Ty? I am dressed up. Why are we here, Ty, today? What are we talking about? What beer are we doing?
Thanks, Brent. So we're doing a beer, funny enough, from the Hawthorn Brewing Company.
Okay. Well, that's a coincidence.
Coincidence. I mean, these guys are proud of their suburb, Brent.
Yep.
So these guys, they do 3 beers. Today we're doing their amber ale.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done an amber ale before, so pretty excited about that.
Yep.
So yeah, they started about, I think, a couple of years ago, 2008. 3 blokes. So
it's still fresh on the scene.
Fresh in the scene.
Yep.
3 blokes, very passionate about beer.
Yep.
Worked overseas, travelled a lot overseas. Tried the best beers the world has to offer.
Yep.
South America, Europe, the whole kit and caboodle.
All right.
Came back to Australia and thought, hang on, we love beer. We're going to try and bring back some of those great beers in the world, from around the world, and make them in Australia using all imported ingredients.
That sounds fantastic. And they're home brewers, aren't they? They've been home brewers.
Home brewing, yep. I mean, these guys are true craft brewers. You know, trying different things, mixing things up. So the beer, the amber ale actually only came out last year, 2010.
So it's still pretty new.
Very new. So an amber ale we're doing today. They do a pale ale and also a pilsner.
Okay, so 3 beers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that should be great stuff.
Yep. So they bring beers from all parts around the world. I mean, they're the type of guys I want brewing beer for me. And they've got a pretty catchy sort of marketing sort of.
They do, mate. The flavour merchants.
The flavour merchants.
I mean, that's just that connotation just gives you a kind of an idea what these
guys.
Makes
you salivating already, mate.
Exactly. So it's all about flavour.
Yep.
Like I said, bringing back the best, importing ingredients from around the world and making them here in Australia, so we can try the beers as people have them overseas.
Yep, for sure. Yep. So the style that the amber ale, it's based upon a Northern English style.
It is actually.
Ale.
Now, actually, some of the people might want to know what do they mean by an English, true English Northern ale.
As always, mate, I'm happy you asked that question. So what we're looking at, and Northern, it's very geographical when you get down to brewing in England and so forth. So the Northern English ale, we're looking for something that's sort of amber red in colour, which the name amber ale suggests it will be. Yep. A fair bit of malt in there. Okay. Occasionally sort of chucking some chocolate malts there to give it a bit more depth of colour. Okay. So flavour, sort of malty, a bit nutty and so forth. Okay. Slight off-whitish head. Yep. So I think that's what we're looking for.
Let's look for that when we try this beer out, Brent.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. So Ty, in terms of appearance, I mean, this is what we'd expect, sort of amber, sort of reddish hues.
Absolutely.
Off-white sort of head there. Yep. So I mean, that's what we'd be expecting from this beer. An appearance, we don't normally talk about the bottle, but you're pretty keen on the bottle?
I love the bottle, Brent. I mean, it's got some great sort of old world writing. It's got that, the flavour merchants. What I like too, it's quite cheeky. They've got on their imported from Hawthorn.
Imported from all the way from Hawthorn.
All the way from Hawthorn, sort of tongue-in-cheek. These guys have scoured the world, brought the ingredients back, and it's imported from Hawthorn. Yeah. I think that's fantastic.
It is fantastic. Aroma, mate. I mean, we're getting the malts through there.
Yeah,
perhaps spice or chocolate sort of coming through there.
I think a light aroma, probably from the malts, a little bit from the hops as well. They use some fully imported hops. I think some strange names, East Kent Goldings, English hops, basically.
All from England. Bit of a taste, mate. I've gone prematurely again there. Definitely getting that malt sort of flavour through. Surprisingly, and perhaps you can tell us why, surprisingly a lack of bitterness there. Yeah,
lack of bitterness, Brent. The reason why is that these guys actually dry hop their beer.
Okay. So what? Kangaroos, umbrellas, in the middle of
No. Nothing like
dry hopping?
Dry hopping is basically these guys add hops to their beer much later in the process. So normally you add the hops while the beer's in the boiling stage,
which is normally where the bitterness
comes through, and the boiling can also tend to destroy some of the aroma. Okay. These guys add the hops in after the beer's been fermented, much later in the process. Preserves the flavour, avoids some of the bitterness.
Which must cost more because hops are
it uses more hops, Brent, and hops is expensive. Just in terms of flavour too, though, I think you can definitely taste some of that sort of the malt again, sort of bread-like.
It's velvety, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite thick. I think it's quite thick as well. I mean, this is an all malt beer. Yep. So a lot of malt in the flavour. Yep. But I think that malt's also tempered by the hops I talked about before.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, mate, I really enjoy this.
It's a great beer.
It's a great amber ale. I can see myself, especially during the winter months in Melbourne here, sort of cracking some of these open. Obviously not cold straight out of the fridge.
No. It's best served a few degrees warmer than fridge temperature. I think for sure.
With those flavours and aromas.
I mean, it's a thick beer. It's a full beer. I think it's got a lot of depth of flavour as well. Quite refreshing for an amber ale too. A slight aftertaste. But some great flavours in there, really complex flavours. I mean, it's not your typical amber ale, is it?
No.
These guys have done something different. It tastes a bit different. So it's fantastic.
So there we go. We've enjoyed it. We hope you get out and get yourself some and give it a try. We're Aussie Beer TV. Check us out. Cheers.